So hello again and welcome to the module 4 of the 5 modules that we have in our Pin Heroes course. Congratulations for coming this way, because it was probably a pretty big journey for everyone here, especially for me, and I hope everything before that was very simple for you to understand. And if not, again, I'm open to any questions. And before we'll start with the lecture, I want to just summarize what we have learned until that and what we'll learn after that. So we have already created our own new Pinterest account, brand new, fresh. We populated it with our pins. We learned how to create a lot of pins through the Canva. We have registered on the Tailwind, and we know already how to use Tailwind, including Tribes, Smart Loop, and scheduling tool, which are incredibly powerful tool for anyone who wants to grow on Pinterest. So last lecture was about tribes, and this module will be all about the maintenance of your Pinterest account. Maintenance kind of sounds like a not very suitable name, but I just called it maintenance because I could not come up with a better name. It's more about the growth, the explosive growth that you will have, and all the tricks and tips that you will need to learn in order to maintain this growth and never run out of pins, and create your own routine in order to maintain this huge Pinterest account that you will have pretty soon. This lecture will be all about the maintaining the growth that you will have, and it applies for the Pinterest account with any number of pins, with 5 pins or 500,000 pins. It's all the same for everyone, and for that reason we are going to learn that, and we are going to use analytics to understand where to grow, on what to concentrate, and how to actually continue doing our Pinterest growth, basically. So before we'll start this lecture can be learned even after every other lectures, because it's all about the analytics and how you can use analytics to create better pins, and how to understand on which board to concentrate and on which board to abandon. But I strongly suggest you to do it right now before you will flood your account with a different amount of different pins. So, and before you will waste a lot of time creating a lot of different pins. So just concentrate on that, and we're gonna just keep on doing whatever we're doing right here. So for that reason, we are for the maintaining of growth. Basically, we are going to use 2 tools at our disposal. One is Pinterest's own analytics, and the second one is Tailwind's Insights. These things are just very easy to use, and we're going to use them in conjunction. Actually, the new analytics of Pinterest that have been updated just recently is giving you a lot more information than it was before. And thankfully, and this was like a bit more difficult to understand before, because the analytics was not that good for Pinterest before, and the actual script for this lecture was written before the changing of the analytics. But now it can be way more useful for you in order to get the results that you actually want. So without further ado, let's jump into the analytics. You're gonna press the analytics button and press overview for the Pinterest analytics, and you're gonna go to Tailwind and press Insights and Profile Performance for the Pinterest analytics. As you see that I have like a bit of drop right here for the last few days, but 75,000 at the least. Oh, how big of a drop is this, right? So it's not the thing to worry about, because you will always have ups and downs on Pinterest. Always, no matter what, how good you are, no matter how many pins you post, there always will be ups and downs, because the majority of your success will be based on just a few pins, not a few thousand pins. And the more pins you'll have in the future, 10,000 plus pins is of course the best thing to do. The more pins you'll have, the less these fluctuations become apparent. You will have like the more stable line there. This is the first. This is the 30 days of our pins. Let's go and go the last 90 days. As you can see, this is the last 90 days, and the drop here is pretty significant, but I'm pretty sure it will just cancel it out and just go up pretty soon, because I'm pretty sure this did not count the experiment pins that I did with the quotes ones. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it will just stable it out. But as you can see, there was a drop right here as well, but it stabilized and came back even stronger. And always there is some kind of dips going, the ups and downs, or hills and valleys are always here on Pinterest. So you should not worry about. What you should worry about and you should think about is about your top pins and how your top pins are performing. As I said before, as I said in previous lectures, majority of your pins, absolute majority of your pins will fail. They will get exactly 0 impressions, let alone the views. So you should not worry about that a lot. What you need to do is to concentrate on the pins that are actually working and utilize them in your smart loops, in your tribes, and in your future pins. Basically, what we are going to look at here is how many impressions are our most performing pins are actually getting. As you can see, the love quotes here, this pin right here that we modeled there and created a lot of different quote pins, is getting quite a lot of impressions, like 2.2 million impressions, which is a huge thing to achieve. And this pin that we created, that we repinned from other person, is getting a lot of attention. And for that reason, that's why we created a pins which looks exactly like that, but with some variations to understand what actually works for us. Let me just show you this pin. I will go right here and open it in a new tab. As you can see, this is the pin, the 1 million impressions only in the last 30 days, which is a huge thing. And what you see right here, we went through this in the previous lectures, but this is important. You need to know this very, very well. What I see this is I'm deconstructing whatever is happening on this pin. There are two things basically on the pin itself. It's the text, which is barely visible, and that might be this formula of success of this pin, and the very dim sunset picture, plus with the same text. So I basically copied everything here and created my own pins that I will show you right about now. Again, that's how I used it, how I was maintaining basically growth by deconstructing the one pin that is actually very, very successful. Actually, that's what I've been doing for pretty long, but I decided to go with an extreme results just to show you how it actually works. I deconstructed this, got 5 different codes and 10 different pictures just to understand what takes a bigger role, what makes a bigger difference. It's a picture itself or it's a quote. So 3 of the quotes did not work at all, and only 2 quotes worked. So because it's all tied with the quotes rather than the pictures, I understood that it is all about text itself, because it's not about the pictures. So it's all about the text itself, and it's all about the keywording in the description. So as you can see, I'm going to open this one. There's actually this is what I uploaded, and this is what is the keywords are used in the description. So when you are testing the pins like that are actually successful, because you are going to have like hundreds upon hundreds of different pins and thousands of different pins on your Pinterest, and you will have a lot of different things basically to check, a lot of data to work with. Just go and see whatever works, because people are opening the pins for what they look, but Pinterest is showing them because of the text. So basically Pinterest is creating impressions, first initial impressions, because of the keywords itself. So think about what keywords are working on the grand scheme of Pinterest by checking the so many ribbons that you will do in the future, thousands of ribbons. And I'm going to show you how to never run out of pins and ribbon hundreds upon hundreds of pins at the same time in the next lecture. So what you're going to do, how you're maintaining this growth, you're finding these small results that are happening on the different Pinterest pins that are actually not yours, and you are deconstructing the results, finding which words are actually working, and then just using them for your own, basically for your own good. In my case, this is how it worked for my Pinterest profile and my Pinterest account. And in your case, it will work a bit differently. So you need to find what is working for you, which keywords are working for your account, which pictures are actually working, and what photos are working, because Pinterest does not know what is on your photos in the most case scenario. They know what you have written in the description, so do descriptions pretty well. That's why we didn't went through the creation of the pins in a very high detail, including the descriptions, etc. Because you need to understand that in order to know what to do in the descriptions for your future pins, you have already probably done few pins, and it's not a problem. You need to do a lot of pins anyways. So in the future, you need to understand that you need to get as many information as possible before you will go and just create a bunch of pins with a bunch of different descriptions. You will know what will work for you when you are getting a success results from those pins. You will know exactly that. Just deconstruct the success for yourself, and you will get a lot of views for yourself. In order to get link clicks, in order to get saves, you actually need to have a lot of impressions in the first place. So first, always focus on impressions. After that, always focus on the close-ups, because the close-ups are the next thing that people are doing on your Pinterest. Always focus on the link, on the things basically that are giving you a lot of close-ups. Then always focus on the saves, because saves are spreading your Pinterest, your pins all around the Pinterest. Because when people is saving your pin to their Pinterest board, they're basically sharing your pins for the other people themselves. And when Pinterest is seeing that a lot of people are sharing your own pins, the Pinterest will promote this pin even more. And after that, what results you actually want at the end is, of course, the link click. Just go to the link clicks and get a lot of link clicks as well. Just 11,000 link clicks is incredible results, but even if you'll get one link click is incredibly great thing, because you are gonna have thousands upon thousands of different pins, and getting a single click from them and in 30 days is just more than enough to promote your own website, if you're promoting your own website, and just get high SEO scores, etc. But we will talk about that in the next module, of course, with an application drawing traffic. So as you can see, this is all about it for here, and you can get, of course, additional information from the Pinterest, the Tailwind as well. It's all, you will see information about the follower growth that you actually do not need to concentrate on. You will need information about the pins and how many pins you are actually doing, and how many repins you're actually creating, or you're getting, and you will find the relations between the pinning and repins getting. As you can see, the more pins I was pinning here, the pin number is going down, as well as my repin number is going down. So basically, yeah, you need to get the constant pins all the times. You need to go and continue with that. Plus, you can get the board inside information right here, which is incredibly important, and which allows you to get information about which boards are actually performing the best, and concentrate on them first, then everything else. As you can see, in my case, motivation, website UI and UX designs are, which is very like clickable things, for you to use. Is doing great. Graphic design is doing great thing, which is huge on Pinterest. Dropshipping is doing great because it has been really popular for the last year or few. Quotes, which is entirely my board, like entirely completely that I've done. Entrepreneurial mindset, which is getting incredible results. They have a real estate business, color palettes, the best of two heroes from zero, which is as well my own account. And as you can see, like first 1 2 3 4 5, fifth place is mine, 6 7 8 9, fifth and ninth place are the boards that are exclusively my pins that I've created. All the other boards have some mix of other pins and my pins. These are only exclusively my pins. And as you can see from this number of Pinterest from boards, getting the number 5 and number 9 is incredibly good. And that's what you do. Just go and deconstruct the success. So in order to do that, let's go through what you need to look into. Look into the picture, the photo that they are using, including what the theme of the photo is and what color palettes are using. Is it dark colors, bright colors? It's a sunset picture. It's I don't know, the sunrise picture. It's the I don't know what the picture is all about. Get all the information about the picture, about the photo. Then about the text. Is the text bold? Is it text thin? Is it text stylized? Is it text colorized? Whatever it is, copy that as well. Then go and see the description itself. Copy the description, change some stuff. And what you need to do is start A/B testing all this stuff. If you want just to, if you, in my case, this quotation thing got only 2 variables within the photo itself. It's picture and the text. There is only 2 variables there. There is nothing else except whatever happens in the description. I used them both, and I found out that they do not matter that much. All that matter was the quote itself, which was in the description as well. So that means that probably this description in that case took a better role in order to succeed for the success of this pin. So you need just to go and think, or whatever the best text you could come up with. If you just change some variables, you just change some pictures and change some stuff in a photo and upload upload it like that. Of course, linking to your own website or whatever you want. If you see that it did not succeed, change it again. See what you missed. Then some of them will succeed, some of them will not. Then look into which ones succeeded and find out why they succeeded, and start on working on a variation of your variations of these pins, and then just look into it and continue onwards until you will find the best pin formula for yourself. You will need to do that. Find the best pin formula for yourself, because when you are going to do that, when you find out which colors are working for you, which fonts are working for you, which text, which description is working for you, which words in the keyword description is working for you, it is all about just copying this all around the place. And if you were getting like 70% of non-viewing on your pins, that 70% of your pins were not getting viewed at all, in this case you are going to get maybe 20%, maybe 10%, maybe even 0% of your pins without views, which is incredibly good thing, because even if your pin is getting 100 impressions and even if your pin getting a single save or a single link click, this pin is successful. It's very successful, trust me, because 95% of pins on Pinterest does not get them at all. Not a single save, not a single link click. So you need to go with that. Concentrate on these things. On photo, on the text on the photo, because the majority of them are getting text or lack thereof, and the description. So maybe there is a question: what text should I do? What text should I use? What text should I do? What should I write? I don't know. I have no idea what the keyword is, what the search engine optimization is. You don't need to know that, because you already shared a lot of pins, and you will share a lot more in the next lectures. You will see. You will share a lot of pins, and you will look what they are using for their descriptions and find out, like, change the descriptions a bit more. You were sharing it, you will change the text and see what texts are actually working. Use some phrases, take out some phrases from the description and use the very similar description, not exactly the same, but very similar description. Maybe use exactly the same description, I don't know, I don't care, just change some names inside there. Just use this, because you will find out that if they are successful, you might be successful as well. But before you will jump into that, before you will go with seeking the results, oh, this will work like that, just go and A/B test all of that. It may take actually up to few months for the results to show up. So do not hurry with the results. Always give a minimum, like bare minimum amount of pen testing of 1 week, bare minimum. But trust me as well that 1 week is nowhere near enough to get actual results and understand what actually works and what actually doesn't work. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month in a very great scenario, because it's not that long and that's not very short. A month is gonna give you a lot of great results. Just look and adapt and change during the time. Doesn't mean that you need to create 5 pins and wait 1 month until something will happen, because you'll have so many pins and so many variables in the future, and you have hundreds of different pins. You'll have so many variables. Just use these variables. Just wait, upload your pins, start increasing your pins, start increasing your views. Wait a month from the very beginning, from the creation of your pin. Wait a month at least until you will get at least, I don't know, at least 1,000 impressions. That's not even enough, but at least wait until you will get 1,000 impressions, and then continue doing the A/B test. This is how you're maintaining the growth, by copying the success of other pins that have already been successful on your Pinterest. You are maintaining growth. You are creating pins that are successful, then you're creating more pins that are successful, but the previous pins are continuing to be successful as well, and you're just building up your speed of growth. And if you will get like 1,000 views a day, in a few weeks you will get 10,000 views a day. In a month or two you will get 20,000 a day, like 50,000 a day, 100,000 a day. You will gonna continue, and hopefully in the next month you will get, a few months later you will get 1 million views a day, which will be incredibly lucrative. So I think I've talked too much in this lecture, and I think I got you tired. So I'm gonna stop right here on this, and I'm going to let you sink in. Just scrub on, just write down for you whatever I said in my case for this lecture. Just think about what I said, and just understand everything here. I think this was the perfect timing for this lecture, because you already understand how to actually create the pins and how to actually have a Pinterest and what does it mean to have Pinterest, but you are not yet into this massive amount of pins already yet. But you needed to hear this in the middle. I think this was the best time, because I would love to hear this one before I actually started like pumping out a lot of pins. And if I had, I would probably reach 1 million not in 4 months time, but maybe in 2 months or maybe even 1 month time. So results actually may vary. So thank you again for your attention. In the next lecture, we are going to like bombard our Pinterest, our tailwind scheduler with a lot of pins, and I will make you see how you can actually maintain a lot of the pins and upload all of many pins all at the same time. And then next lecture after that, we're gonna sum up everything, and we are going to go through the maintenance routine that actually you need to do every single week in order to maintain your growth on Pinterest. Thank you for your attention, and I will see you in the next lecture. Take care.